Here we go. Good evening. I'd like to call this special meeting of the Northfield Township Board to order. Please stand for the invocation and pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, may we be available to thy love and thy wisdom. May you guide our hearts, our hands, our thoughts. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll, Clerk Manley.
Chick.
Here.
Otto.
Here.
Manley. Here. Chockley.
Here.
Zelenak.
Present.
Dockett.
Here.
Bellinger.
Here.
All here.
Okay, thank you. We have a quorum. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the balance of the agenda.
I support.
Okay, motion by Chockley, support by Bellinger. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you, that passes. We now have an opportunity for call to the public. If anyone would like to come up and speak to us this evening for this special meeting, or you can wait till the regular meeting if you wanted. It's up to you. Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to board member clarifications, which there can't possibly be any. And then correspondence.
I have a statement I want to make.
You have a clarification, Mr. Dockett?
I have a comment that I want to make.
Okay, we'll allow you to make a comment.
I think I can.
Yes, you can.
Okay. 7.5 months ago, on November 11th, 2016, Bill Wagner, Northfield Township Public Safety Officer, gave me an email. As of 8 o'clock this morning, I placed Lieutenant Green on paid administrative leave. Mr. Wagner said that this was a recommendation of the labor attorney, and you can expect a communication from her. In this matter, I never got a communication from her. I called the labor attorney 3 months later, and I asked for a meeting. It was in February 2017. And the next day, Marlene, the Chockley, called me and said she canceled the appointment that I made or the meeting I had because it would cost $200. I think the labor attorney was wrong to put Green on administrative leave, and she has cost the township tens of thousands of dollars in doing so. I think the supervisor was wrong to cancel my meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dockett. I will dispute some of those assertions, however.
Go right ahead.
We will go, no, I know I've discussed this with you before.
Well,
We'll move
I
on.
stand by my statement.
Okay.
Everything I said is exactly true.
Okay.
Now, did I lie about something?
I don't agree with the way you recall
Well,
facts.
maybe you don't agree, but I didn't lie.
Okay, anyway, we need to move on and get this agenda continued. Now I would like to have a motion to close this special meeting so we can hear from our attorneys on several items. So I move to close the meeting. Do I have a second? Am I doing this right?
You should just make sure to cite what section you're going into closed session.
Will you please speak into the mic?
Sorry, Mr. Dockett. Just which.
Do I read all the MCLs?
Yeah. So for
Okay.
the two that I sent you, one should be to receive an attorney-client privilege communication pursuant to 15.268 8H. The other one should be 15.268 8E for trial or settlement strategy.
Okay, so the first one is H. Okay. Okay. I would move to go into closed session to consult the attorney regarding trial or settlement strategy in connection with pending litigation pursuant to MCL 15268 8H and to consult with attorney pending trial or settlement strategy in connection with pending litigation pursuant to MCL 15-268-8E, and go also into closed session to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute pursuant to MCL 15-268-8H. So that was a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, motion by Chalkley and support by Chick. Do we have any discussion on that?
I just, again, it's under our client, or our attorney's recommendation, or that we go into closed session.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So all in, well, do we need a roll call vote for this? Roll call vote for this motion.
Bellinger,
Yes.
Docket,
Yes.
Zelenak,
Yes.
Chockley,
Yes.
Manley, yes. Chick,
Yes.
sorry, Otto,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Thank you. Okay, now we're Yep. I'd like to call this special meeting back to order. And I would like to make a motion. This is the possible action as a result of the closed session we just had. So I'd like to make a motion to direct the attorney to resolve the pending litigation against Nowatzki as set forth in the closed session. So that's my motion. Do I have a second? Okay, motion by Chalkley, support by Chick. Any more discussion on this? Okay, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Manley, yes. Bellinger,
Yes.
Zelenak,
Yes.
Chockley,
Yes.
Docket,
Yes.
Otto,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item action is I'd like to make a motion to place Lieutenant Green on unpaid leave and initiate an investigation to determine if Lieutenant Green has violated Northfield Township policies and procedures.
I'll support.
Okay, that was a motion by Chalkley and a support by Chick. Any more discussion on that? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Yes. Chockley,
Yes.
Bellinger,
Yes.
Manley, yes. Zelenak,
No.
Docket,
Yes.
Otto,
Yes.
Okay, thank you, that passes too. Okay, the next item we have on this agenda is the second call to the public, and I know you were out there in the lobby, but if anyone would like to speak at this time, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we'll have another call to the public as we start our regular meeting. So, would anyone like to speak? Please come up, state your name and your address, and you'll have about 3 minutes, but go ahead and share your mind.
I have to
Hello.
turn it on.
Flip it on, yes, and hold it right up to
There
your
we
mouth.
go.
Mhm.
My name is Sam Morello. I live at 7729 Shady Beach in Whitmore Lake. And I'm here to find out whether there was any action being taken on the property that's at 7725 Shady Beach. It's a blighted property.
Mr. Maines, are we allowed to share anything?
Certainly, if you like.
Okay, we're going to write a letter to him again, but there is some activity going on and potentially with that home, and we're going to follow up with it to see if we can't get that resolved. So that will be happening in the near future. I know there's been some discussion going on with the homeowners and surrounding that, and we're hoping that something will happen really soon. And if not, we have a plan B, so.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that's helpful. I know it's
Well,
frustrating
I mean,
for
it's
you
the
all.
time frame. You know, it's been ongoing for quite some time. I mean, the house has been abandoned, at least for, we live next door, obviously, so we've seen it, but the place has been abandoned for, I would say, at least 3 solid years, so anything we can do to expedite the situation would be great.
Mhm.
Thanks.
And we're going to take it up again at our next meeting. So that's, it. We're inviting them to the next meeting.
And
Thank
you
you.
too.
July 11th.
Yep, July 11th.
July 11th. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Come on up. Welcome.
I'm Myron Rolison, 175 Barker Road. I had my property up for sale, but I do have. I had it sold to a gentleman that done asphalt work, done paving driveways and stuff like that. Township says, no way. But yet, I can run a sexually oriented business in downtown Whitmore Lake. That don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Does it to you folks? Or don't I get an answer from the people?
I know you had a denial from our zoning administrator for an asphalt business on your property.
I talked to the lady and couldn't half understand what she was saying because you don't speak very good English. And she's from Novi anyway. What does the people from Novi know about what has gone on in Whitmore Lake in the last 50 years? We used to have a lot of businesses in Whitmore. Now we're down to 2 massage parlors, a couple of gas stations, a grocery store, and a tattoo parlor, and that's downtown Whitmore Lake. That don't make sense. You people got to rezone this stuff and let people come in here that want to run a respectable business. Does
Thank
any
you.
of you give me an answer?
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Rolison. I'll be happy to talk to you after the meeting. And anyone else like to speak?
Hello, once again. I'm Julia Henshaw, 4681 6 Mile Road. I think that you probably do all know that I am one of the members of the Land Preservation Committee for the township, which we're extremely happy that it's been created. And I trust you've all seen this. I think this went to Marlene, and I trust that everyone else has seen, right, the plan and budget request that we sent to you. So I don't really need to go over it, I don't think, in great detail, but I just wanted to point out on page 2, at the bottom of page 2 under partners, you know that we have all the members of the committee, between all of us, different ones of us, have talked to each of the local land conservancy groups, which are listed there. There are, 7 of them, which I find confusing, but that's the way they've done it. And they have all agreed that they would be very eager to help us work together to conserve as, work with farmers, work with people with what do I want to say, unblemished lands, or even slightly blemished lands, to preserve them. And it has also been really clear from every conversation we've had that in order for our township to be taken seriously with land preservation, we must have some money in our budget. Money talks. We live in a society where if you don't have some money on the table, there's not much of a way to get any other money. And so I just really wanted to point out to you the importance, emphasize the importance of having some funds in the budget. We would like to have $10,000. We know that we could very well spend $5 on someone like Barry Lonick or another land preservation person, because there's also Susan, whatever her name is, the second person we could talk to. So we really would like to have that money, and we'd like to have some more money so that we could do a mailing to property owners in the township, of which there are really a lot. I don't think we've counted them, but we know there are a lot of people that own more than 20 acres in the township, and any of them would be eligible for some kind of conservation easement. So I just wanted to emphasize those two things to you. I know you can all read. I know you've all said you were supportive of preserving both farmland and natural areas. And so we would appreciate very much your support on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Welcome.
Hello, David Gordon, 5558 Helena Road. I've only got 3 minutes. Hopefully I won't take all that time. I'd like to talk about our tax dollars. I've lived here for 37 years. I believe in terms of the people that are sitting on the board, there's only Wayne Dockett's lived here longer than I have. 60% of the taxes in this community get paid for by residents who live in the rural areas. And yet nearly all the money gets spent everywhere except in the rural areas. I'm all in favor of paths, like the non-motorized path that you've worked on for years, and the park, the waterfront park. I think it's great. But I'm also looking for a little bit of balance, especially when I'm paying the lion's share of the taxes. And so are my neighbors. You can ask. I have documentation for that if you're interested. What I know is we've already spent about $400,000 for a waterfront park recently, $600,000 for a fire truck. We spend $2 million a year for police, fire, medical rescue. And it appears as if the board is actively going to hire a manager, which for the last 4 or 5 years has cost us $100,000 a year. When I look at the document that was put out to try to find a manager, this was put out as what the key issues were and challenges facing Northfield Township. I would imagine Mr. Ains looked at this. The North Village is listed, development downtown. Downtown master plan, sewer expansion, and improvement of commercial and residential development. There's no mention whatsoever of preservation, none. My general opinion, and I don't know that I'm off base on this, is that most of the people who live here like it the way it is, and nobody's looking for a lot of changes, or a lot of growth, or a lot of development. But somehow or another, the local government over all these years has felt that that's exactly what we need to do, somehow or another. That's what I see the hiring of Mr. Ains and having a township manager is for, because I would be very surprised if the first thing that he doesn't come to the board with is a plan for borrowing $3 million to expand the sewer. But then I look at the budget, and there's $5,000 allocated for preservation. When you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for other projects and $5,000 for preservation, it says something about what your priorities are. And almost everybody who ran for office last November claimed to be supporters of preservation. But if you don't spend the money on it, then it's just talk. I hope you do more than that, because $5,000 just isn't enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to come and speak right now? Okay, seeing no one. Board member comments? Do we have any at this time? Mr. Dockett.
Yeah, I think that the man that spoke there, I'm in business. I don't see, I'd like to have $10,000 for the business people of Northfield Township. We don't get a penny. And here we're giving out money to these Northfield neighbors. They're almost all of them on this preservation thing would be a neighbor. There's 3 neighbors on this board. So the only thing he's ticked off about is he don't have 4 votes, he's got 3. Sorry about that. You had your chance 6 years ago.
That's enough. Okay, Ms. Bellinger. We don't all have to have board member comments at this point, but go ahead, Ms. Bellinger.
This is board member comments time.
Hello. At the previous township meeting we had, the Madam Supervisor had mentioned that we may be able to put Can you hear me?
A little closer.
We may be able to place a newsletter in with the taxes coming out here for July, I guess, for the summer taxes. She had requested that if any board members had something they might want to add to the newsletter, they may please, let her know, and we can maybe get this included possibly. It's got a lot of information on here. However, there was a request to maybe outline and spell out and encourage public donations, public voluntary contributions to various things that people are interested in, like the dog park, or the community garden, or community center, things of this nature, just to help people understand they could donate to what amenities and interests they have in the community. So, but this, however, got overlooked. But I just did want to make that mention. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it got to be 3 in the morning and I was still working on the newsletter, so I'm sorry, I did forget that.
What did the
item.
newsletter cost us to have printed?
It's not very much, it's about 12 cents a copy, and we got 4,500 copies, I believe.
How much is that?
I don't know, I can figure it
Well,
out.
you shouldn't spend money when you don't know
No,
how
that
much
was
you're
the 12
spending.
cents extra, so
I
anyway,
think you'd
it's-
have the
I
figure.
think it's about $600, I think was
Well,
what
I
it was.
think we should have gotten this and let us look at it too.
Okay.
I mean, this is wrong for you to spend this money. You're not the boss on this board here. This board is the boss. So if you keep it up, I think this board's gonna have to just put the binders on you, and we'll make sure you don't spend anything unless we tell you it's okay. Thank you.
We did our best, Mr. Duckett.
It would have been
Okay.
good to get board approval prior to the submission and decision to even spend the extra money to print $600 worth of stuff and then to share it with our taxpayers.
Okay.
Probably should have received board approval.
I brought it up at the board meeting.
I think
And-
it was that we asked to see a copy before it went out, yeah.
And I
that's what
had,
she's
I had
saying.
1 day to get it done. We worked really hard on it, and I had 1 day to get it there. So
At the
I
last
sent it out.
meeting, you told us you were gonna put it out.
Yes.
You had 2 weeks.
Okay. Amongst everything else I do, it was very difficult to make time for that. So we will do better next time. Please submit any little articles you'd like in it. I know we had the treasurer and the clerk submit articles, and they're very useful in there. So I thank you, Lenore and Kathy, for that. Okay.
I do have, just on that note,
Go ahead.
it is summer, and summer taxes are going out. So that's what we were working on, and just the goal is to get them in your mailboxes so that they're there at your house on July 1st, because that's the first day that you can pay them, which happens to be a Saturday, so you can always drop it off at the office drop box if you're inclined to pay them on July 1st. And so just wanted to let you know that they coming into your mailbox soon. Summer and summer taxes
Okay.
go together. Not quite like hot dogs and apple pie or something, but
Ice
it is
cream.
that time.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else who would like to make a comment right now?
I would just like, I know the gentleman left on Shady Beach, but let him know that we understand it as a concern. We are actively looking at it, and we'll have a resolution or an action on our next meeting on July 11th.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I move to adjourn the special meeting of.
Support.
Okay. Support by Docket. Okay, motion by Chalkley, support by Docket. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, that meeting's over. Do we need another break?